voices are AI generated. We hope you enjoyed the video.
Welcome to another video starring the 4Kids version of Team Chaotix.
All right, wrestling fans. Today, we're diving into the wild world of the WWE and some of their shows that'll leave you saying, whoa, did that really happen?
Prepare yourselves. Vector's conspiracy theories are about to reach a whole new level.
Hey, someone's got to expose the truth. Buckle up. Chaotix are on the case.
Let's start strong. 1996, a house show. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, aka Diesel and Razor Ramon, break kayfabe, which means breaking character in the ring after winning a tag team match. They embrace Shawn Michaels and Triple H, seemingly foreshadowing their jump to WCW.
Wait, they hugged in front of everyone? Talk about a betrayal!
Now this gets interesting. See, some folks say it was a planned goodbye. A message to the grapefruit guy, Vince McMahon, the pervert devil. Others say it was just a drunken goof. What do you think, viewers?
Every wrestling fan should know that Scott Hall and Kevin Nash defected to WCW in 1996, leading to one of the biggest factions in history, the NWO. They first came in as the outsiders, but then they joined Hulk Hogan in Bash at the Beach that year.
With WCW getting most of the classic WWF stars and having a spectacular cruiserweight division, WCW Monday Nitro was beating WWF Raw in the ratings for 83 weeks straight. But like we said in our previous chat video with the others, the World Wrestling Federation had to fight back and change their product, adding and creating new stars, making it more edgy, and getting inspired by ECW, or as Paul Heyman liked to say, steal ideas.
Once The Rock, Mick Foley, Triple H, and Stone Cold Steve Austin became main eventers in the WWF, that was the beginning of the fall of WCW. Ratings were falling, the booking was going downhill. Vince Russo switched brands and WCW in 2000 was a waste, while WWF was at its peak. However, there was one very controversial WWF show in 1999 that Vector told me recently, and it stung me more than the average fellow bee.
It's Over the Edge, a pay-per-view tragically overshadowed by the real-life death of wrestler Owen Hart during his entrance. The footage was never shown.
If you've seen the original broadcast, you can tell Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler knew that we lost a very talented and beloved star.
But the show went on, Charmy, and that's where things get uncomfortable. Some, including ourselves, say it was disrespectful to continue. Others say it honored Owen's spirit. It's a debate that still lingers. I think they should have ended the show and give the audiences their refunds and just use the pay-per-view matches in the next night's show on Raw, which was Owen Hart's tribute show.
Much like in the music industry with singers dying young or in any sport, athletes die young. Pro wrestling isn't different. A lot of pro wrestlers tragically die young, whether it's steroids, drugs, alcohol, murder, or in Owen's case, a catastrophic accident. In WWF and in most big promotions, there are tribute shows dedicated to late wrestlers, and one controversial tribute show in 2007 was made, and it's none other than Chris Benoit. Details about the circumstances of his death emerged later, forcing WWE to completely change course.
Yikes! Talk about awkward. Can you imagine going to a tribute show and then finding out the whole story changes?
This one's a complex mess! WWE scrambled to distance themselves from Chris Benoit, and rightfully so. But the controversy highlighted the dark side of the wrestling industry. As much as we love Chris Benoit's in-ring work, the horrific things he did are just unforgivable and disgusting. Either next year or the year after that, we'll dive deeper on the career of Chris Benoit.
Let's lighten up and shift gears a bit. Instead of talking about tragedies, how about awful bookings from the grapefruit guy? We're heading to December to Dismember 2006, the only ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling pay-per-view under WWE.
This event, brought to us by WWE after acquiring ECW, is widely considered a disaster. Vince McMahon made ECW a joke, and when even Paul Heyman, the guy in charge of the original ECW, couldn't make the third brand work, you knew that WWE's ECW brand was a failure. Just 2 one-night stand shows should have been it, but no, a complete joke of a third brand was made.
And a disaster is our kind of thing for detective work. December to Dismember is known for only advertising 2 matches, and there were last-minute changes, such as the main event being the first and only Extreme Elimination Chamber match. The only difference between the regular Elimination Chamber and the Extreme one is that the Extreme one has weapons in the ring and around the chambers. Also, the fans along with Paul Heyman wanted a young CM Punk to win the match, but instead, Bobby Lashley won due to Vince McMahon wanting Bobby Lashley as a star. Sure, Bobby Lashley is a star, but he should have stayed in Raw or SmackDown rather than ECW.
Around this time in 2006, the Big Show was at his biggest, as in heaviest. After he lost the ECW Championship to Bobby Lashley, he left the WWE until February 2008 and lost a decent amount of weight when he returned.
As if Chris Jericho leaving the promotion in August 2005 was disappointing enough, his future tag team partner left a little over a year later, and they both returned around the same time. Jericho returned in September 2007, and Big Show came back in February 2008, and they went on to become a tag team in 2009 and 2010. But now, let's move on to a more recent, poorly received WWE show, and it's 5 years old.
This event has Vince McMahon's booking at its worst, and I distinctly remember all of us getting mad at the show's ending. Amy broke our TV with her hammer, Knuckles broke our coffee table, and everyone else threw food around the room. Even I was pissed off. Tell the audience what the show was, Charmy.
It was the 2019 Hell in a Cell event. This one had folks buzzing with excitement at first, but we all knew how WWE in 2019 was. Bad writing and awful decisions in general, to the point that the fans were chanting refunds.
Affirmative. 2 Hell in a Cell matches, including a much-anticipated Universal Championship bout between Seth Rollins and The Fiend Bray Wyatt. The other was Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. The former was the main event, and the ending was in a referee stoppage, despite Hell in a Cell matches having no disqualifications or any kind of rules. Seth Rollins hit The Fiend with a sledgehammer while covered in a bunch of junk, but the referees begged him not to.
Anticipation that turned into a major disappointment. Some say fans felt robbed like all of us Sonic characters. Theories flew about referee manipulation, last-minute rewrites. The plot thickens. The Fiend should have just continued attacking more victims while Seth Rollins tries to be a fighting champion. But instead, The Fiend very quickly gets into the main event just a couple of months after Bray Wyatt debuted as The Fiend at SummerSlam. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. We're sorry your Fiend persona was poorly booked. Orly.
Let's rewind to July 7th, 2005, for an episode of SmackDown that became highly controversial due to real-world events.
Whoa! What happened?
Buckle up, Charmy. This involves Muhammad Hassan, a wrestler of Italian descent as a character portraying a troubled Middle Eastern American man.
The episode featured Hassan and his masked associates entering the ring and causing chaos. Unfortunately, this storyline aired just hours after the London bombings, a horrific tragedy.
Yikes, that's some seriously bad timing. I'm doing my research that there was a disclaimer in the UK airing of the show, but the damages were already done.
Exactly! The public outcry was massive. WWE scrambled to pull the episode and rework Hassan's character, or in other words, the UPN network wanted WWE to get rid of Muhammad Hassan altogether.
This incident highlighted the delicate balance between wrestling storylines and real-world events.
All right, let's wrap up to something a bit more recent. The 2018 Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia.
This event drew controversy for a few reasons. 1. It took place shortly after a journalist's murder caused international tension.
Conspiracy theories galore. Some folks felt WWE prioritized financial gain over human rights concerns.
In the words of Marty McFly from Back to the Future, whoa, that's heavy!
The show itself also faced criticism for some questionable finishes and travel issues for wrestlers. The main event tag team match was just abysmal and sad that 4 legends look old and washed up.
But hey, the venue was extravagant. The stage set looked better than most sets that year. Talk about a spectacle.
And that's a wrap for this video. Those WWE shows sure had some wild moments and controversial moments.
Indeed, but the world of wrestling is vast. Maybe next time we explore
TNA, Impact Wrestling, or providing commentary with the others playing wrestling video games? Sounds like a whole new can of worms.
Or maybe discuss AEW. We could check out some high-flying action, or even review classic events from every popular promotion, whether they are around today or not.
One controversial show at a time, Charmy.
Did someone say controversial shows? You can't hog all the wrestling fun, Chaotix.
What are you doing here, Amy? And where's Sonic and Shadow?
Shadow and my boyfriend will be reviewing several movies this month, and I might need you three to join us in a couple of them. We might also have to join you three in reviewing classic wrestling events like the ones from the 90s.
Hold on, the whole gang? Reviewing both movies and wrestling?
That's right! We'll bring you the lowdown with our own unique spin. Expect sass, strategy breakdowns, and maybe even a flying pink hammer or two.
This is just getting out of hand. I'm not prepared in reviewing movies.
Nonsense, SBO! The more, the merrier! That should be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be joining the rest of the crew in the movie reviews, and for the rest of the year, we'll be doing wrestling reviews and make guest appearances in gameplay videos.
We got so many videos on the way. The next video is the review of the 2 Stuart Little movies, as it got the most votes on the poll.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Don't forget to click on the bell so you cannot miss new videos, and check out the rest of our videos as well.
And spread the word. Follow us on TikTok, stick around, and stay tuned for more new videos.
We'll see you guys later. Peace out and rock on.
This has been 1CL Productions, the end.